أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والنازعات غرقا والناشطات نشطا والسابحات سبحا فالسابقات سبقا فالمدبرات أمرا يوم ترجف الراجفة تتبعها الرادفة قلوب يومئذ واجفة أبصارها خاشعة يقولون أئنا لمردودون في الحافرة أئذا كنا عظاما نخرة قالوا تلك إذا كرة خاسرة فإنما هي زجرة واحدة فإذا هم بالساهرة هل أتاك حديث موسى إذ ناداه ربه بالوادي المقدس طوى اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى فقل هل لك إلى أن تزكى وأهديك إلى ربك فتخشى فأراه الآية الكبرى فكذب وعصى ثم أدبر يسعى فحشر فنادى فقال أنا ربكم الأعلى فأخذه الله نكال الآخرة والأولى إن في ذلك لعبرة لمن يخشى أأنتم أشد خلقا أم السماء بناها رفع سمكها فسواها وأغطش ليلها وأخرج ضحاها والأرض بعد ذلك دحاها أخرج منها ماءها ومرعاها والجبال أرساها متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم فإذا جاءت الطامة الكبرى يوم يتذكر الإنسان ما سعى وبرزت الجحيم لمن يرى فأما من طغى وآثر الحياة الدنيا فإن الجحيم هي المأوى وأما من خاف مقام ربه ونهى النفس عن الهوى فإن الجنة هي المأوى يسألونك عن الساعة أيان مرساها فيما أنت من ذكراها إلى ربك منتهاها إنما أنت منذر من يخشاها كأنهم يوم يرونها لم يلبثوا إلا عشية أو ضحاها صدق الله العظيم.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وعليكم قال الله تبارك وتعالى في الكلام المجيد والفرقان الحميد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Jazakallah for the recitation of Surah Naziat. This is chapter Surah number 69 This has got 2 ruku and 46 ayah. Related to, in continuation of the last surah we did, Amma Tasalun. This is all, the whole of the 30th juz is mainly discussing about the akhirah, warning to prepare ourselves. And this, the first 5 ayah are about what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning us, and he's swearing with this. Swear means taking oath. The word swear is nowadays used in very laxity, so oath is much better word. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking oath with 5 things. Now, Mufassirun are disputing about what these are. The majority says these are about the angels. The second group says this is about the winds. The third group says this about the Mohiud-Din who are using bow and arrow and stretching the bow so much so that the arrow goes and pierces very fiercely. And the fourth is about the horses, using the horses who are running away and to use them to run with the force into the battlefields to kill the mushrikeen and kuffar and so on and so forth. So these are the 4 different opinions the Mufassirun has been mentioning, but the majority says it's about the angels. The first 5 are about the angels. The later part is discussed about warning. Then a few passages are about giving an example about what Musa alayhi salam and Firaun had together. And then asking them, there is a lesson for you to remember what happened to Firaun, who was more stronger than you, more powerful than you, and he had control of the whole of his country. Look what happened to him. You are nothing compared to the people of Quraysh, the mushrikeen and the kuffar. You are nothing compared to what Firaun was. So warning coming, and I'll just give the translation. At the end, I'm going to concentrate on 2 or 3 points only, because there's no point in going into details of each ayah. I'll pick up 3-4 points and we'll elaborate them. The first 5 ayah, which are discussing about as I said, we are going to concentrate on angels rather than going for the wings or the Mohiud-Din or the horses. By those who pull out getting drowned, going deep to the last limit, and those who untie releasing, and those who are busy moving swiftly, then those who are already ahead, being ahead, then those who manage their affair. Now the 5 points discussed here is to do with the Naziat means we know in our language Naza, Halat Naza means the time at the death. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing at the time of the death, the angels who are going to take the soul out, they enter deep. Now there is a difference between the taking of the soul of unbeliever and a believer who is a pious person. For the soul to take of a non-believer, the angels have to go deeper, and their nafs and ruh is trying to hide, to avoid being taken away. So it tries to hide in different areas, limits, but they have to rush, go and grab it and pull it out from each and every corner of the body. And this is the example given in one of the hadiths is when the angel takes the soul out of a non-believer, it is as if somebody is taking a thorny twig which is wrapped up in a cloth of silk. Can you imagine if it is pulled, it will tear each and every fabric of the silk. So this is how painful it is taken out. The second is taken, Munashitati Nashtan, and those who untie releasing. And compared to that, taking the soul of a believer is as if he was in a distressed situation in this world. They are going to untie and take it very, very swiftly out of it. They have given the example that the taking of the soul from a believer is giving one example. I'll just finish 2 points here before moving. Malik al-Maut came to a very tyrant king. He was in his palace and wanted everybody to leave. He was in an angry mood. He said, "Leave me, I want to be alone." And suddenly he saw an old man in rag entering his palace room. He said, "How dare I? You enter here. Who are you?" He said, "I'm the one, nobody can stop me. When I come, I do my job." He said, "Who are you?" He said, "I am the angel of death." And then he started shivering. He said, give me a couple of minutes, I want to sort out things." He said, no. When I come, I don't give time. I'll come and take it out. And compared to this angel of death, Malik al-Maut went to a very pious person, very nice believer. He came along and he entered. He said, "Who are you?" He said, "I am the angel of death." He said, "Oh, I have been waiting and waiting for you for such a long time. Every day I wake up, when are you going to come? I'm so pleased to see you. Please, you are welcome. You are welcome." He said, "Okay, if you have anything to do, Allah has given me grant permission to leave some time for you to sort it out." I said, No. There's nothing for me to sort it out. Come on, come. I've been waiting. So this is the difference. So that's what he's saying, that by those who pull out, getting down, going deep to the last limit to pull out, and compared to that, and those who untie, releasing, taking it swiftly, and those who are busy moving swiftly, once they take the soul, they have to rush quickly towards the sky, and they want to compete with each other, saying that, okay, I want to reach first, and those who are ahead, being ahead. So some of them are going ahead and something. And those who manage the affair. At the end, they are going to manage. What happens is the soul is taken from the unbeliever, or the soul is taken from the believer. It reaches to the top of this sky. When the soul of the believer is taken, all the gates of the 7 skies are open. And the angels speak, "Whose soul have you brought?" The angel says, "So on and so on and so forth." They say, "Oh, we have been waiting for this person's soul. He is known to be such a good person. He has done all these good deeds." So the voice order comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, "Take this soul back, keep it in Eliyin." There is a palace there to keep the souls there to rest till the day of judgment. Compared to that, the soul of the unbeliever is taken. Only one door is open, not all the doors. And the question is, whose soul is it? So and so. They say, "Oh, that's the horrible person who has been causing so much trouble in the world. Please take him and throw him out into Sijjin till the day of judgment." And when the soul is taken also, there are more description is given that the angels who take the soul of the believer brings beautiful clothes from the heaven. They are soaked in beautiful perfume, and the soul is wrapped up and taken out. And the soul of the unbeliever is taken on the rotten clothes, which all foul smelling coming. Nobody would like to go near that smell. That soul is taken. So at the end, the days are to manage the affairs, means to bring the soul back and to keep it there. And now ayah number 6 is, after this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is coming to the Qiyamah. What's going to happen? Now ayah number 6 is, on the day the quaking on the earth will quake. Yawma tarjifu rajifa. And the successive one will follow. The second, the third, and then so on and so forth. First of all, Israfil is going to blow the trumpet. So the whole thing will be shaken and upside down. The mountain will become like cotton and flying. The earth, the sky, everything a turmoil. And then the second, everything is dead on the first one and destroyed completely. With the second trumpet, everything will come back to life. As you see, the water comes and the roots flourish and the plants come out. So every soul is going to come out from this earth. and then they are going to be brought up to stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On that, their hearts will palpate. So once they are standing in rows, they are going to be, in Surah Al-Baqiyah, it says that there are going to be 3 rows. Ashab al-Yamin, Ashab al-Shimal, and As-Sabiqun. So Ashab al-Shimal, the heart will be pounding. This is the thing which they used to deny, and they did not prepare anything for this. So the heart is pounding, and also their eyes are down. They cannot look up, because now they know the time has come. They know what they have done, and they know what is going to happen to them. And the succeeding one, the follower, and that day hearts will palpate, their looks will be cast down. And they say, shall we be restored to our first state? They were denying all these things. When the Prophet ﷺ used to tell that you are going to be, after the death, there is going to be resurrection, people will be coming up. They say, how can once you die, your parts will be destroyed and completely, bones will be gone into the earth and destroyed completely. How can a person be alive? And then they say, shall we be restored to our first state, even when we have become rotten bones? They say, then this will be a return of loss. If this happens, this is all which we have been denying. This is the state of loss for us. So it will be on their in single shout. The single shout is again the blowing of the trumpet. And when they will be awake, that is the second time they are going to pray. Now after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is moving towards the Quraysh to explain to what happened. Do you know about Halataka Hadith Musa? And then a couple of things are given. Musa Islam is described in the whole Qur'an more than any other prophet is described. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is described because the whole Qur'an is the seerah of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So in fact, the whole Qur'an is dealing with Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam descriptions. But the next prophet, the most mentioned in Al-Quran Karim is Musa Alaihi Wasallam. His details are given in so many surahs, and from time to time in each surah a couple of ayat comes. Here only a couple of ayat are described of Musa Alaihi Salam, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered him to go to the Pharaoh and give the message and warn him and so on and so forth. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the story of Musa come to you, when the Lord called him in the holy valley of Tuwa, saying, go to Pharaoh, he has certainly rebelled. So then say to him, have you the inclination to purify yourself? Musa is going to tell Pharaoh, who is on the top of the arrogance, have complete power on every affair of Misr. Musa is going to tell him for him, have you the inclination to purify yourself, and that I should guide you to your Lord so that you fear Him. To fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to fear your Creator. Because Pharaoh did not deny that there is a Creator. He himself told he is Ana Rabbukumul A'la astaghfirullah. But he knows that means that I have got full control of this country now. There is nobody superior to me on controlling of this place. But he did not deny that he is not created. He did not deny there is a creator who has created him. He did not deny the clouds and the rain and the sun and the moon are under control of somebody else. But what he denied is, I don't want to listen to anybody because I am the superior. There is nobody above me on this earth. And then I should guide you to your Lord so that you fear Him. Then he showed him the great sign. Then Musa showed the great sign. The great sign was the asa, throwing the asa, which became the big snake and so on. But what happened at the result of that? He denied, number one, and disobeyed. Okay? But he denied and disobeyed, and then he turned away in haste, rejected the whole thing, moved away from there. Then he gathered to proclaim. Then he asked, okay, you are showing something, this looks like magic, I'll ask some magicians to come and compete with you. Then he said, and they said that I am your top master. فَقَالَ أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى أَسْتَغْفِرُ. And then what happens? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the result. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the result. Then what happened? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caught him for punishment, both in this world and the hereafter. In this world, he was drowned, and then hereafter he is going to face severe punishment afterward. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after mentioning this story, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that there is certainly a lesson for those who fear Allah. This is addressing the Quraysh. Look, we are giving you the story of somebody who had more power than you, and you know, everybody knows the story of Musa salam and Pharaoh. Even the mushrikeen knew about Pharaoh was there, and he was the ruler of this big country, and so on and so forth. Then after that, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is continuing. Are you the strongest in creation on the sky which he built? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asking the people, have you got any power to create anything? Do you know who created the sky? الَّذِي خَلَقَ سَبْعَ سَمَاوَاتٍ طِبَاقًا in Surah Al-Mulk. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this, we have created the sky. Look at the skies. Is there any crack? Any defect? Any asymmetry there in the whole sky? Look, second time. Look, third time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَرْجِلْ بَصَرَكَ رَتَيْنِ يَنْقَلِبُ إِلَيْكَ الْبَصَرُ خَاسِئًا وَهُوَ حَسِيرٌ. So many times Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, look, so who is stronger in creation? Who has created the sky? Can you create the sky? No. Are you the stronger in creation or the sky, what he has built? And he says, he raised its height and then set in the equilibrium with the sky, and then he darkened its night and brought out its daylight. From the sky itself is the sun comes and the sun sets and the moon and the stars come. And then he stretched out the earth, drifting the continuation. وَالْأَرْضَ ذَلِكَ دَحَاهَا. The Mufassirun has explained that then once the earth was done, it was to stretch. And so Dr. Zakir Naik has picked up the point which is very important. I want to mention it. That he says that after the creation of the earth was created like a sphere, a circular ball. Then it was beaten from the top to make it like an egg. So the distance between the east to west is bigger than north to south. So this is one of the points is mentioned here, and the geologists now say that the earth, which we have got globe when we were student to learn, the earth is round, but the geologists, they say it is not round. It is elliptical, it is egg-shaped. And that's what 1400 years Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explaining, that it's not round, it has been beaten up to make the top and the bottom closer than the sides. And brought out from the earth its water. Now what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is explaining what is happening with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the water, and from there the things come out from the earth, and he firmly anchored with the mountains. When the earth was initially created, it was shaking with the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the mountains as pegs to hold it from shaking. A provision for you and for your cattle, the earth bringing so much fruits and vegetation and so on and so on. So when the great Rabbinating calamity comes, وَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الطَّامَّةُ الْكُبْرَى, the day man will recollect what he earned, store away. يَوْمَ يَتَذَكُّرُ الْإِنسَانُ مَا سَعَى. He is going to remember what he has done in this world. Immediately, anybody who will be making up on the day of judgment, before the results is given, it is like students who have given an exam. Before the results are given, they know what they have done. They say, I have passed the exam. I'm sure I have passed. That also, no, I have failed it, because the way I answered, 90% of the questions were all wrong. I did not answer properly. So I know the results now before the results is given to me. So on the day of judgment, people will know before they are going to be said you are successful or you are failure. Before that, يُعْرَفُ الْمُجْرِمُونَ بِسِيمَاهُمْ فَيُؤْخَذُ بِالنَّوَاصِي وَالْأَقْدَامِ. They will remember, they will understand what they have done already. Then the day man will recollect what he has earned, store away, and the hell will be made manifest for him who sees. Everybody is going to see the hell as well. Yeah, what is going to. But the believers who are going to be taken away, they are showing that this was a place. If you would have been disobedient, you would have gone to this place, but Allah has saved you. Then they are going to pass on the Sirat. And they will see as if sometimes we are going through a big area where, I don't know, some who have watched some film, they are going through, there is a connection between the sky trains, where from one mountain to the other, monorail going around, very deep you can see down. So the Sirat, when you are passing out, you will be seeing the hell underneath. Yeah? The people who are virtuous, they will cover this area very fast. But those unbelievers, they will be cut down and thrown into that one. Sirat is thinner than a thread and sharper than a knife. Allahumma hafazna. And the hell will be made manifest to him. So, as for whom he rebelled and preferred the life of this world, there are two things. الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. We have been sent in this world to do righteous deed, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is seeing us what you have been told to do and what you are doing. There is distraction. Are you going to follow the distraction or be obedient to it? This is what happens. I've said so many times before about Hamilton. When we are checking the development of a child, the growth, this is called developmental pediatric. So the doctors are doing, and the health visitor is there. The baby, when she's going, baby is brought in with the mother in the chair, and the health visitor sits in front, or the mother sits in the front, showing beautiful coloring objects and toys and so on and so forth, and the health visitor stands behind with a rattle, something which makes noise at the back of the child, and that noise is coming, and the mother is showing all the distraction, colors and toys to the baby, and the health visitor is making a rattling noise in the back. If the child turns the face to listen to the noise, that child has passed the hearing test. The child who is just completely into the coloring and the toys and ignores the sound, that child has failed the hearing test. The health visitor put the child has passed the hearing test or failed the hearing test. So this world is a distraction. Everything is so beautiful and attractive and so on and so forth. But there is a command coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do this and this and this. If you ignore this command and get completely involved in that, you have failed, like the child has failed the hearing test, you have failed the purpose of coming into the world. So this is a very, very important point for us. But what happens, why? It is like a T. One road coming, at the end, there are only two ways, either to take this side or that side. There is nothing more in front. So, if you follow two things, you are going to the path of the hell. If you follow two things, you are going to the path of the hell. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving both the things. What are the two things going to take you to hell? What are the two things going to take you to the hell? This is explained in the surah, alhamdulillah. So, as far as those who rebelled and preferred the life of this world, saying that this is the only thing I have to enjoy, nothing more. If you have chosen to rebel to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and choose to fulfill all the desires of this world, give all the importance, he has taken the road towards hell. Compared to that, so, and prefer the, and then hell will certainly be the home for that person. And for him who feared to stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In Surah Al-Rahman, وَلِمَنْ قَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّتًا, who feared to stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I do this, I'm going to face Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is going to happen? So 2 points to remember. The one who feared to stand before him, the Lord, and restrain himself from the evil desires. The desires are going to come from the nafs from time to time. So who controlled the desires of the nafs and had fear of standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these 2 qualities going to take him towards the heaven. The qualities of the non-believers, they are going to take to. So there is only 2 ways to go. You have to choose this way or that way. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling that 2 qualities going to take to hell, 2 qualities going to take him to the heaven. And then the gardens will certainly be his home. So compared to the hell, the home for that unbeliever, the garden will be the home for the believer. They ask you about the hour of the doom. When will it come? What is going to happen? When is the time is coming? This is the thing they used to ask. When Rasulullah used to say that there's going to, a time is going to come and everything will be destroyed. The Qiyamah. They say, okay, when is the time? When is it? This is the thing which happened to each and every prophet. Whenever they warn about the day of judgment, people used to say, okay, when is it coming? Bring it. Same thing with Noah alayhi salam. Same thing with all the prophets, Ibrahim alayhi salam, so on and so forth. Each and every prophet, whoever explained to the non-believer and warned them, they say, okay, when is the day coming? Come on, show it to me. But this is the day which nobody knows. When is the size going to come in? Except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, this Jibreel, when Jibreel alayhi salam came to explain what is أخبرني على الإسلام, أخبرني على الإيمان, أخبرني على الإسلام, إحسان, أخبرني عن الساعة. When the question came, tell me about when is the Sa'a. Rasulullah said that the person who is asking the question and the person to whom the question is asked is the same word. We both don't know. This is one of the things. And the last ayah, Surah Al-Luqman, there are 5 things nobody knows except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When the rain is, when is the things, blessings are going to come from the heaven, what is inside the womb of the mother, what you are going to do tomorrow, when are you going to die, so on. So the 5 things are there, nobody knows except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is one of the things when they used to say, when is it? Rasulullah did not know the answer. He said, I cannot tell you because I don't know myself. When is it going to come? They ask you about the hours of the doom. When will it happen? In what way are you to discuss? Are you in a position to discuss? What have you prepared if it comes? Are you prepared to face it now? To the Lord belongs the knowledge of the ultimate time of when is happening. You are a warner only for him who fears it. I was comforting the Prophet. Don't be disheartened. You can only warn to the person who is going to accept this warning. For those who are not going to accept, you don't have to worry. Your job is just to do the conveyance, to do the tabligh. Your job is not to convert that person to accept Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says so much so, when Abu Talib's time came, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, your job is only to convey. You cannot convert. You cannot force people to accept Islam. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who is going to give the thing to acceptance or not. But as far as you are concerned, your job is to just to do the belief, so on and so forth. The day they see it, for them it will be as if they had not stayed in their graves except for an evening or a morning. This again Surah Al-Mu'minun, the ayat comes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to, how long did you stay in the world? And then they are going to reply, a day or part of a day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, yes, you are correct. Because compared to the life which is going to start now, what the life you stayed is nothing, not even the day or half a day. Because this is an everlasting life. No end is going to come to the future life. This is about 2 things which the believer is going to go through. Is one is to have the fear of standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah said, couple of minutes it will take. And this is the Fateh Makkah. Rasulullah coming with 10,000 people, entering Makkah and entering Kaaba. He is the commander-in-chief of this army, 10,000 people. We have seen when the commander-in-chief comes to any place, they destroy completely. And they are more powerful. And look at Rasulullah, the Sahaba is explaining, when he's entering that area, he's looking down, not up. Head is down, and his shoulders will go. Fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And being grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has given victory. Yeah. Somebody who is victorious, what happens is, you have seen the football. The moment the ball comes, they shout and show how powerful they are, what they have done. This is Rasulullah coming with 10,000 Sahaba, with the face down, head down, shoulders bent down. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are the one who made this day, the day of victorious. I have nothing to do with me. He enters, and then one of the companions was shouting that this is a day to take revenge. Al-Malhama, Al-Malhama, Al-Malhama. Rasulullah called him. What are you saying? He said, this is the day. These are the people who tortured us. Now we have come to take everything what they have done. He said, no. Go back and shout, Al-Marhama, Al-Marhama. Today is the day of Rahmah, blessing. And when everybody was, he went into the Kaaba, destroyed all the idols, and then he came out, all the mushrikeen were standing. What are you going to do to us? What are you going to do to us? They are fearful, because an order comes from the lips of the Prophet ﷺ, the 10,000 Sahaba is going to work straight up. If the order comes, kill them all, they will be killed. So what are you going to do? What are you going to say? La tasriba alaykum al-yawm. He said, I am going to give you the same reply that Yusuf al-Salam gave to his brothers when they asked, oh Yusuf, now what are you going to do to us? You are in the throne now, in the position. He said, La tasriba alaykum. I am giving the same reply. And then after that, he asked Bilal Radiallahu Ta'ala to climb up on the top of Kaaba, do the azan. And when the azan was done, Rasulullah performed 2 rakah. And the person who was just behind in the first row of Rasulullah, he said, I was very close to him. When he finished the salah, then he said this dua, Allahumma la tukhzini yawm al-qiyamah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, be careful. Please do not distress me on the day of judgment. Do not humiliate me on the day of judgment. Who is asking? Is there any man superior to Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Who is the one who is going to enter the paradise? He says, all the paradise and Jannah is haram for all prophets until I enter the Jannah. And the Jannah is haram to all ummah until my ummah enters the Jannah. So he is the one who is going to enter the paradise. Afzalul Bashar, Imamul Anbiya. And he is saying, Allahumma la tukhzini yawm al-qiyamah. Allah, do not humiliate me on the day of judgment. Why? So that the people behind to listen, for them to pray to Allah, do not humiliate, and to prepare that the humiliation on the day of judgment is the worst thing a person can face. So prepare yourself to avoid the humiliation of the day of judgment. That's what very, very important point to remember. And one of the hadiths I'm going to finish now says, as far as the وَنَحَنَّ النَّفْسَ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ, who is saved from the evil desires for his nafs. The Rasulullah said, complete destruction is going to be for the person who is obedient to his nafs. Anything the nafs desires straight away, not even thinking, shall I do it or not? He is completely obedient to the nafs. One of the points is complete destruction. The second one is that who is filled with misery, bukhul. In his heart, the bukhul is so deep, he will not do anything. Somebody who is completely destroyed and begging and crying and running, if he has got just asking for a penny or so, he has hundreds and thousands of pounds. he will not give one penny to help this person. So that is the extreme part of bukhl. And the third thing is pride. So these three things will lead to complete destruction. Obedience of the nerves, completely without thinking, extreme bukhl, and being proud. One of the scholars said that when he was giving the explanation to his student, he said, I do not worry that shaitan is going to enter you through your bad deeds. But I worry that shaitan is going to enter you through your good deeds, to destroy you, to tell you, do this, and then once you do, then you feel pride, I'm better than him. So I'm fasting, he's not fasting. I'm performing the salah, he's not performing the salah. I am coming to the mosque, he doesn't come to the mosque. If you have this feeling and compare yourself that you are better than that person, then that is from shaitan. So fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ask to be protected from the shaitan. He can, that's why the scholar said that I'm not worried that the shaitan is not going to come and attack you through your bad deeds, because once you do your bad deeds, you are aware. So straight away you do the tawbah. But once you are doing a good deed, you don't realize that you have done something wrong. That's why after each salah, we have asked to say, Astaghfirullah, Astaghfirullah, Astaghfirullah. We think we have performed the salah. I don't know what mistakes I have made, and I want to be saved from any evil points coming from this salah. I know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward me from the good and virtuous deed I have done, but to protect myself from any bad deeds. And the pride is something very, very, the Hawarin of Isa alayhi salam. One time Isa alayhi salam was going with his Hawarin, and one of the person who was used to drink wine and was very disobedient, he saw Isa alayhi salam coming, and suddenly he said, okay, I have done enough now, is to end it. And he came to Isa alayhi salam saying that, I know I have done all the bad deeds, and now I want to finish this bad deed. I want to join your group of Hawari. So he started walking, and the Hawari next to him, so this person is coming next to me, so he moved away from him. And then both were walking, but there is giving a bit of distance from him, because he's now become a Hawari, but they know that the past was so bad. So after a little walk, suddenly Isa alayhi salam got the wine. He said, everybody to stop. Jibreel alayhi salam came to give way. Allah says that the Hawari which was next to this person who have just joined you, both their past deeds are wiped away. Of course. His bad deeds are wiped away, his good deeds are wiped away. From now, the new chapter of deeds are going to start. So that person's good deeds and this person. And one thing we say that, okay, how our good deeds are going to be wiped away on the day of judgment. I've told you so many times. People are going to come. Rasulullah, who is the person who is muflis or so, and who hasn't got any money or blood. He said, on the day of judgment, this is the person who is going to come with mountains of good deeds. And he's going to look and say, oh, I'm successful. And the whole proceeding will start. Nama Amal is book of good deeds. All the deeds you have done is open. And then I'm going to mention, okay, this day, this hour, this time, this person did this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And all the gathering is listening. On that day, he back at this person. On one day, he is told from this person. So sometime he did something like this and this and this. Though at the end, the angel is going to call anybody who has got anything to do with this person which you have done in the past, come along and take whatever he has done wrong to you. Suddenly from the crowd, people whose names were told, they were going to come line up. This person did like this. We have seen it on the picture. Okay. Angel is going to come. So what will happen? So measure so much good deeds, give it to this person. First in the queue goes. Second person comes. What did he do? So on and so forth. Okay. Measure and give. and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth. The long queue is so much that after the half queue is finished, all his good deeds have gone. And this person comes, he said, what about those who were in front? They have taken everything, there's nothing for me. Then the angel is going to be told, tell them that they are going to unload their bad deeds on this person. So measure the bad deeds, put it there. So Rasulullah said that this is person who came with a mountain of good deeds. At the end of his good deed, he is going to end up with a big mountain of bad deeds. So this is, pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why we say that how our good deeds will be gone. We are going to destroy our good deeds if we are not very careful. That's why he says, ghiba. What is ghiba? It looks very simple. If you go to a party, the most delicious dish on the table is ghiba. Before the food is brought, you are talking and making jokes and saying, what about that person? Is he not invited? No. Oh, I know my friend. One day I met him and he did like this and this and this, and making fun of joke. And all the people are sitting and eating. When the food is finished and somebody says, okay, I have to go quickly, I have to go to some other place, he leaves. And as soon as he leaves the place, they start talking about him. The person just left, he did like this and this and this is evil. And you don't realize how much good deeds this person is going to take. Imam Abu Hanifa, somebody came and said, this person was telling all sorts of bad things about you, that you are such a bad person. Said, oh, did he say that? Okay. And then, where does he live from this place? Okay. Big pan with sweets and fruits and dates and some dinars and so on and so forth. Sent it and came, knocked on this door. What is it? I've come. What have you brought? All this thing. Why? Thank you for giving me your good deeds. Just came to thank you for this. Lais bin Saad is a person who was a very rich businessman during the time of Harun Rashid. One time it happens, Harun Rashid sent 50 dinar to Malik bin Anas, rahmatullah, very scholar of that time. The news came to Lais bin Saad. He sent 1,000 dinar. And the news was told to Harun Rashid, this businessman is trying to beat you. You gave 50, and he has sent 100. He was called. How dare you try to compete with me? He said, no, my lord, it's nothing. My business, every day I earn 10,000 or 50,000, 100,000. Every day it comes. So when I heard that you have given something, I thought this is such a pious person. At least I should give him one day's earning to him. That's the only reason. And this is not Ihya ul-Ulum by Imam Ghazali. Whole narration and story is given. A woman came to ask for a spoonful of honey. She was making some sweet and she said, could I have a spoonful of honey? He heard and he said to his servant, give the big pot of honey we have got to this lady. This was given. And they said, she was asking for a spoonful of honey and gave. He said that she's asking according to her standard. I should give according to my standard. So always remember, this is one thing which I make in my dua. So I want everybody to do the same thing. Whenever you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I am asking according to my ability and my standard. But you grant me according to your standard and high capacity. Don't grant me just what I'm asking. Grant me according to your high status and your standard and process. So this is very, very important for us. I am to finish. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us if we made any mistakes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to the right path and give us those two qualities you mentioned in this surah, which are going to lead us to the right path and to the heaven. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.